Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Welcome to episode 212 of the Pseudo Adults podcast, the aforementioned Pseudo Adults podcast. This is a show where we talk about all the fun things that are going on in our lives. This time, I think, I don't know, call me crazy. A couple people over here may have recently gone to the New York Comic Con, and now all the news is out there, so you won't have to spoil anything. But we get to hear anything about your experience. And we'll take it from there, I think. I think that's a good idea. So, as always, you could subscribe to Pseudo Adults. It's anywhere that you find podcasts, on the X machine, website, app thing, where all the people get laid off, at Pseudo Adults.
Amen.
Yeah. SpaceZamboni.com, YouTube.com/SpaceZamboni. Baby, we're back. YouTube.com/SpaceZamboni Gaming for our gaming videos, gaming streams. YouTube.com/SpaceZamboni for the podcasts and fun things. You can find this podcast here exclusively for members on YouTube.com/SpaceZamboni. Thank you much.
Did anyone see any of the live stream of the New York Comic Con?
Yeah, they were live streaming everything, and it made me be like, why did I wait on a queue to see all this when I could have just seen it on the live stream?
I saw the clock from Loki's getting its own show.
Clonky.
Yeah. Clonky.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They released all the information like immediately after we were in the panel, so it was like, why? Okay.
Well, Alex said that the Batman Ninja clip didn't get shown, right? The one where they're fighting the Flash and all that? It was like a 12-minute clip.
That was exclusive. That was like they're showing us early.
Yeah, whenever there are clips, they're just like, you gotta be there, loser.
No, they had people walking up and down the hallways, like the rows, being like, if you film, we're kicking you out of here.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
we're like,
nuts.
you are not, like people in suits, like, you are not allowed to film.
Suits. Yeah, they had like Comic-Con FBI.
Yeah,
They just had like the Penguin Mafia squad.
I think my favorite panel we went to was half of one and the whole one of the other one. So the half of the one is the Batman Aztec. I was like, that one looks way better, even better than the Ninja one. It's going to be based in Aztec America, and it's going to be like an Aztec man becoming Batman in the sense that there is a god that's actually a bat for the Aztec, and he inhibits that. And then there's like a panther woman, like Catwoman. There's going to be like a Joker. There's going to be
Poison Ivy's a goddess.
Ivy's
right?
a goddess. So it's like it fits really well into what it is. They actually brought in historians to come and go, that color would never be used. That color would never be used. Like, this is how it's actually set up. So the bad guy, and Two-Face too.
Yeah, Two-Face.
Two-Face. They have the leader, Cortez is in it, and the main leader, Montezuma, is in there too. So it's actually like historically accurate of how people would dress, the colors they would use, what they wouldn't do, the weapons they would use is accurate to what they would use. And they put a lot of work into that one.
I like this, like they're trying to secretly educate us through Batman. I like that this is what we're going to be seeing in our high schools.
Yeah. I really like it because the way they broke down like how hard it took them to create, like how many versions of him they had to, all the characters they had to go to get like the exact version that they wanted. And everybody who worked on it is from Latin America. And they had people from Brazil. They had like to make it so accurate that the historian said, can I have the pictures of the temple because they are so accurate that this could be an example of what it would have looked like on the inside.
Yeah.
Like it was very accurate. The buildings, the layout where all the buildings are is accurate to the ruins that they have of it. It looks really cool.
So does like one cheek have an iPhone and then the other cheek have a Fitbit?
Absolutely.
Whoa. It's Aztec, right?
It's Aztec.
Yeah.
You're right.
Gotta get all those Aztecs.
Yeah. I really liked it. The way they broke it down was really good. Like, at least the way, I hope I'm not disappointed. But it looks really good.
Yeah, and it was interesting because they were talking about how they've been wanting to do this for like 4 years.
And so like they originally pitched it because they were working with an animation studio, and one of the guys from the animation studio were from Latin America, and he was like, oh, I want to do like an Aztec Batman. And so he pitched it, and they're like, oh, this sounds great. But it took them years and years and years to actually do it. But it was cool to see like the
animators from Latin America. So they're like, everybody who worked on it is from the region, closer to the region where it actually was.
Batman Assassin's Creed, right? Because like now he's done Ninja.
Yep.
Now they're doing Aztec. They did like the old timey stuff.
They even had the people who did the Ninja one come in from Japan.
Yeah, that was cool
and
too.
They had a translator. I mean, they tried their best.
So what's next?
The second one of the Ninja.
Pilgrim Batman.
Batman Pilgrim.
The Pilgrim bitch.
Yeah.
You about to say Bat to the Future?
No, that's all you.
It's cool. They even have the Bat
I was just say
in that.
Bat Moose Hunter in Canada.
But the Bat Ninja is definitely like the way anime is like set up and like.
Yeah, so what's cool about Batman Ninja, the second one, is that so Batman and Robin come back from feudal Japan, and when they come back from feudal Japan, they see that, oh, now there's all these like Yakuza people in our universe, so we kind of effed up time somehow. So now you have like the other Robins, so you have Tim Drake and Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, where they're all there, and they're like, what's going on? Why is all these ninjas? And then Commissioner Gore's like, what do you mean? Ninjas have been popping out of the sky all the time now. And then they're like, what are you talking about? And it's because they're from feudal Japan and came back. And then
All new,
It's but he's not fucking wrong, dude. Ninjas attack Gotham all
the time. Yeah. Whether it's Raja Ghul.
It's always someone dresses.
This guy in a Quagmire shirt.
It's cool because they all get one. Like Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
So
they're all there as like almost dressed as the same, which is cool.
Yeah, so what's cool is that the Justice League is the Yakuza League. And so they're all like part of the Yakuza too. So they're all like
Flash is funny.
Yeah, so they're all like bad guys, and now the Bat family has to defeat the Justice League, but like the Yakuza League.
Dang.
That one was cool. And then the other panel we went to was the Rick and Morty panel.
Oh,
that was very good.
Cool.
Not Justin.
Yeah, he got
Dan Harmon.
Sorry, Dan Harmon was there.
Mr. Stories.
They had all of the voices of like the main cast. So they had like Jerry's voice, which is just Jerry. The guy's voice is just Jerry's voice.
Dr. Spaceman.
Yes, and they had I didn't know. I know this sounds very stupid. The main voice of the mom.
Oh, Sarah Chalk.
From Scrubs.
Yeah.
From Scrubs. She was there. Which was, I was like, I forgot that was actually her voice.
Yeah.
And she was able to talk, and they were all able to talk. They showed what is it called? I never remember.
Animatics.
They showed an animatic of a little bit of one episode. Very funny. Very funny, even without everything. They were like, this is just it. It might change, but this is how we run everything and we watch everything before we animate it.
Yeah, nice.
Because it's a lot more work to like go back. They also got renewed for 2 more seasons already.
So they have it written up to season 10, but now they got renewed for 2 more, so it's going to be season 12. There's only 12 seasons, and this is only 8 right now. That's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long of a wait between seasons, right?
They have it written up to like way.
Yeah, 10.
It's pretty different than how it was, right? Like, we're in the really long waits now. They're just like each year we got this type of vibe.
Pretty much.
They also said there's going to be a Jerry episode, like there was. There's going to be all of the characters are going to get their own like
time to shine.
Yeah, kind of. But they weren't allowed to say what it was.
Yeah, they weren't really allowed. So
they weren't allowed to say much.
The moderator is asking all these questions, and then they all look at each other like, "We can't answer this. We can't answer this. We can't answer this." Like, yeah.
Aren't you supposed to coordinate that with the moderator before?
I thought so. That's why I was confused.
Usually, like the audience asks those questions.
Yeah.
We can't answer that.
Yeah. It was very strange because the moderator was even like, I don't know what to do at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys gave me this paper.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's Comic-Con every year. It's just kind of like not. It was a little more organized than it was last year, but it still wasn't where it needed to be. Definitely, like in the very beginning when we went on Thursday, they put us down, where that main stage is, in like lines. like zigzag through the bars. So they're like, okay, now we'll let you in. So if you showed up early, that's where they put you, which we did show up a little bit early.
Yeah.
But and then you got to wait for them to release you, and you got to go through whatever.
Yeah, but they still do the same thing where they let you just sit down if you're already in the panel, right?
No.
Wait, what do you
They
mean?
don't
You
do
sit
that
down
anymore?
if you're already in
You
the.
can't just stay there.
Oh, we were trying to just stay there because
They
we
kicked us
we
out.
already had a reservation
You
for
got to go through that door.
Batman
You gotta go
Ninja,
around again.
and then Rick and Morty was right after. So we're like, oh, let's just stay here sitting.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
And they're like,
best
oh, you
part.
can't do that.
'Cause we were
You
so
have to go
tired,
back
our
on the
feet were
line.
so
We're like,
tired.
but we have the reservation. Like,
Wow. So yeah, in the previous years, I think it was a problem because like people would be on that long line and like
Also,
we
the
even did it.
VIPs,
Yeah.
They have like people who get ADAs that get sit first.
yeah.
They get, which I'm like, you could have anxiety. I looked it up because I was like, could I qualify for this? I can qualify for it.
Oh,
Because
sick.
anxiety, you can qualify for it.
Yo, I'm about to show up with my prescriptions.
You can qualify,
Yeah.
which makes it so that there's only a few people that are on that, but it makes it so that you get seated first. There's a separate line for you. There's a separate section where somebody does sign language, and they did for this panel. They actually were a lot better with that.
Wow.
They had a lot more like help for people who needed it. I did hear a complaint for people in wheelchairs. They didn't really have
Ramps.
much things for them like somebody who's in a wheelchair. You can't go into an escalator
Sorry.
with a wheelchair, can you? Like it's like they had elevators, but you would have to try to find them. They had gender neutral bathrooms, and
Yeah.
like they had all that.
There's gender neutral bath.
There was I follow a site. I'm very good at like fan pages to find things, so I knew who was getting dropped, who was going to be like shown as like guests and stuff like that before they launched it because I follow a site. So yes, they did have like a whole map was like gender neutral bathroom.
Oh. I didn't see any of them.
I know.
So when Tony said ramp, I'll be honest, I laughed because you said there was no ramp, and I just pictured a Tony Hawk like half
Oh my God.
cap seats, and they're just like, no, this is where you guys go, and they're just like doing tricks throughout the panel, and you like watch.
3 days.
God, I wish there was a ramp.
The floor was good. It wasn't as many things as last year, which was I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there was no Sega booth. There was no like. Yeah.
Oh, there's not really a Sega game coming out, right?
Well,
no,
there's
Shadow Generations.
Any video games that were cool. That were...
Yeah, they had that weird Rugrats one where you could.
They didn't have the Rugrats one.
Not as many video games. Honestly, they did have which was strange. They had Marvelverse. Was it? No, it was Capcom versus Marvel.
What?
Like the actual booth, like you.
Oh yeah, but it was like a collection of all the old games.
Oh, well, that's what just came out. Yeah.
So they had that. They had they still had One Piece, which was like last year. They had a SpongeBob 25th anniversary booth with a big Squidward thing. They also had a panel for them too, which we didn't get. We couldn't get tickets to.
The Creatures Commando booth.
Creatures Commando was. I'm sorry, they put zero effort into that.
Into the booth, she's saying.
The booth looks cool on the outside, and you go through and you wait online. You're like, this is really cool. This will be cool. You walk in, there's like nothing, and you're
They're just like,
"What?"
sorry.
They're on a
and then you go around and there's like this interactive thing, but it's not really interactive. They just take your photo and then you leave.
Yeah, yeah,
So we waited 20 minutes for them to just take our photo and go.
yeah, and send an email. They sent the email of the
How'd the
photo.
photo turn out?
I didn't even look at the email.
Oh my God!
No.
Were you guys creature commandos?
They were there. They were there, but it wasn't interactive, so I don't know why they called it interactive.
Yeah, they said it was like, oh, interact with the characters on the screen, right? And this is the screen. I was like, what? What? How am I supposed to interact with him? I'm like pointing at him, like,
The thing-
So I could see you.
yeah,
You smell good.
very small.
yeah.
That I would say where I'm like, okay, guys, all right. I get you're focused on other things, but like Marvel has a huge booth over there. Marvel had like Agatha thing. They had Spider-Man, the Daredevil outfits thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
sick.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's breeze right over that.
The guy who plays Venom showed up on that small stage.
Whoa.
Like, giving people
Oh, Tom
autographs.
Hardy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He showed up. What else was there? What was it? There was a Simpsons. They had a Simpsons booth because
The Ninja Turtles setup.
Ninja Turtles setup. Oh, they did have a Ninja Turtle setup, which was cool.
Oh, they had the Ninja Turtle game, the new one apparently.
The new,
But there's a line.
The mutant one, the new.
Mayhem.
kitty one, the one that looks kitty, the one based on the movies.
Yes, yeah. AJ's been playing that. He's had a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
The 2-player mode sucks.
I was gonna ask because I saw that there was 2 players going on, but
Well, so you would think it's a 4-player game because it's the Ninja Turtles, but every level, all 4 turtles come down and they're like, "Oh, right," and then 2 go away, whichever ones you're not playing. What? And you can't even switch to them either. They just like dip and they're like, "All right, see you later, other turtles."
oh man,
And then AJ goes, "I want to play with my kid." I'm like, "You can't."
he's gone.
He's
gone.
He left.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got a lot. We were down in the artist alley a lot more. There was a lot of cool things in the artist.
It's always so crowded there.
It's very crowded.
The Thursday was nice though. It was still crowded, but it wasn't.
Wasn't as crowded.
I'd probably do Thursday and Friday again, but I wouldn't do Saturday and Sunday. Friday was crowded, and we did 8 hours almost each day. Actually, no, the last day too we did because by the 3rd day we were like so tired that we're like sitting on the ground just watching people like cosplay.
Yeah, just watching cosplays like, oh, look at that one.
Everybody's like, trank people.
And at the moment, I think during the cons, I forgot they call it something where they call it Concord or something like that. Where if you go to a con, a lot of people get sick.
Yeah,
You get a little tiny cold,
Yes.
and it's apparently it's a con thing. And I was by the 3rd day, I was like, kill me.
They have
virus.
Yep, even like the MagFest flu they have.
Yeah,
it's a lot of cons.
Concord where like you get a little cold. So by the 3rd day, I was like, kill me.
You get like a pin or something? Like, Concord.
No, but somebody was screaming.
Merchandise. We just got to go there, hand those out.
Yeah.
Somebody was screaming in the fan thing, "Who came here sick? Who did it? Who came here sick?" And got like a majority of them.
Who the fuck came here sick?
They did have a ton of really cool cosplays, though. To be honest, they had a lot of Digital Circus, which I was like, they had a lot of Smiling Friends. They had a lot of merch for Smiling Friends. They had what else did they have? They had a lot of X-Men cosplays. They even had an X-Men meetup that we missed. We forgot. All right, but
We dressed the day before. And
I'm glad we did because we were so tired by the 3rd day. We didn't do our second costume because we were like,
Oh, really? Yeah.
I was like, next year because we were.
Be comfy.
I wasn't feeling great, and I was like, there's no way I'm getting a costume where I'm like half naked while I don't feel good.
What was your other costume?
My
Floss?
Philo.
Oh,
It's floss.
Oh, okay.
It's floss. And I was like, I don't have that energy.
You're gonna wear it on Halloween though.
Boy, if I didn't wear it to Comic-Con, I'm not wearing it.
So you trick or treat house to house. People, ooga, ooga, ooga.
Yeah. I just thought of a Halloween costume where you dress like challah bread with a little dong.
Oh.
You get a little hot.
You know, I probably would have wore the outfit if I probably would have wore the outfit if I could have found what I was looking for. I was looking for like stockings that didn't have the, like they have the brown thing cut that didn't have that. And I was searching every store the day before. I go, fuck it, I can't find it. I even looked when we were in the city and I couldn't find it. Other people had it, and I was like, where the fuck did they get that?
They bought it out.
They had literally every cosplay you could think of. They had Poison Ivy from Arkham, which I was like, whoa, that one's really cool.
There's a few camis from Street Fighter.
There's always a few cameos from Street
always
Fighter.
a few
Always.
And it's always the floss one. It's never any.
A Morgan. We saw a few Morgans.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
that's
So there was a lot of jeans, but not Goblin Queen.
Did
I
you?
got called so many things, and I was like, "You're wrong."
Wait, what? What did they call you?
No, they said Maddie.
No, they
Which
said Maddie. I had a few people where I was like, "Who the fuck?" I
It's
forgot.
Madeline
Madeline
Pryor.
Pryor.
Yeah.
I forgot that was her name,
God.
but I didn't know. I didn't know they called her Maddie. I didn't know they called her Maddie, so I was like, "Who?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." And then I had people go, "Dark Phoenix," and I went, "No," but okay, you're in the territory.
Yeah, in the realm.
It's like you're wrong, but that's fine. I'll let you be wrong.
Dang.
What else?
Was there like who were the most was the most popular cosplay that you saw? Like past years has been like Luffy and stuff like that.
A lot of rogues.
A lot of rogues.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Both X-Men Evolution and
A lot of Gambits. A lot of
Deadpool.
A lot of Cyclops. A lot of Deadpools.
Deadpool's. Yeah,
X-Men.
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's a Deadpool
Honest?
movie came out.
A lot of X-Men, not a lot of Goblin Queen, which I was like, that's okay.
Yeah, a lot of Wolverines because of
Makes sense, yeah.
A lot of Deadpools, a lot of Cyclops, a lot of Jeans, a lot of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
a lot
Spider-Man.
It's like anything that's up in a lot of Harley Quinn.
There's always a lot of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Because
there's
that's
always
also
a lot
you're
of
in
Harley
New
Quinns,
York.
too.
yeah.
Just wandered from Times Square.
Yeah.
And they let him in because like, all right, this guy must be here.
my
for
God.
cop.
They had
Fight here to
really
fight
cool-
Doc.
They had a group of people. There was 2 really cool ones. I mean, there was a lot of really cool ones, but they had a group of people who were dressed like Power Rangers, but they were. You remember? It was like
Oh, it was like oh man, what was it crossed with? It was crossed with something.
it was Power Ranger. Was it Star Wars?
Gundam. Whoa.
Oh, maybe I think it was Power Rangers that were
Star Wars,
like the Mandalorian Power Rangers.
It was like all of them.
That's sick.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of
Oh, that's
shy
very
guys
creative.
coming
Yeah.
around with the
Suits.
boombox.
Yeah.
People had like golden chains, and they all were like.
Oh, the Shy Guys. Yeah, they
danced
were
to
Shy
the
Guys.
boombox.
Shy
It
Guys.
was
Yeah.
really cool.
That's
They did have. We did see Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah.
which was
That was cool.
shooketh. I saw
many
one
Pac-Mans?
BioShock.
I mean, what?
Pac-Man's.
Mark one.
None.
Oh yeah.
I saw no
Come on.
Pac-Man.
No Pac-Man.
I saw.
We saw Kirby,
Oh,
a
yeah.
blown up
We
Kirby.
saw Kirby. Tony and I went.
Dang.
I wanted to be Kirby. And
I said, how you gonna walk around like that?
Also, I said I wanted to be the sexy cat from
Whoa.
Final Fantasy. You know the.
Oh.
I said I could be a sexy one of that, and he goes, "No," and somebody was a sexy one of that.
And Tony's like, oh, that's so hot. Maybe you
I was so
should have
obsessed
drank.
with it. I was like, I wanted to do that, and I wanted to also do a sexy Moogle, and Tony's like, "No."
And he's over there taking pictures of all of those. Finally.
Oh, we on the second day we met with Charlie and Rachel.
Oh,
And-
cool.
Rachel and Rachel, yeah.
Yeah. We were going through the floor, and there was 2 people that he's like, I have to take a picture
Oh
of these 2.
God, I don't know. There was a booth with cosplayers, but they were specifically women with huge boobs,
Yeah.
like ginormous boobs,
I'm
and there was a few.
Just glad they're
girls
getting
like that.
recognition.
It was because they were doing that for that specific reason.
Wow.
And so he takes a picture of them, right? It was
goes, "I
one
have
was dressed
to."
like Layla, and one was straight from like Star Wars, with the slave outfit. And then I forgot who the other girl was dressed as.
I don't
know.
All I went is that's the biggest boobs I've ever seen in my life.
So he took a picture of them,
Boobzilla.
and then
Well, then,
and then later, back at the hotel, he's like, Rachel told him like, oh, you're not gonna find her to tag her on Instagram.
Immediately
And he found her immediately. She was a porn star.
Oh my God.
You go. I can't tag her because then everybody's gonna see I took a picture with a porn star.
He can.
She's a porn star, and I was like,
Why should anybody
Oh.
judge her line of
Yeah.
work?
So you really did catch the.
Oh my God.
the Kurd. Yes, yes.
I already forgot what it was called. You were conquered.
I didn't take a picture with her, but from afar I went, those are the biggest titties
If
I've
it's
ever
from
seen.
her,
I
it's
was
her
like,
day.
but
About a
that was
job.
cool. It got very crowded. There was a lot of stuff I got. I got like 2 Kirby statues. I got a Chaperon poster, which was really
Whoa.
cool.
Wow, Comic-Con?
Yeah, I kind of got. They had like it was like anime. They made it anime.
Yeah.
Very cool looking,
Mm.
and it's a hot to go. Was it the Pink Pony Club ticket that they had on it?
Cool.
I got what else? I got stickers. I got signature from Courage the Cowardly Dog, which was made my whole life because I named my first dog after Courage the Cowardly Dog. So I've been watching it since I was like little. Like that's all I would watch. So he was I want to tell you, the nicest man I've ever met in my life. He was like, "Do you want to do?" After
Change
he
your
signed
oil
it,
or something?
no, he was just this older man. He was an old man, and this is when I wasn't dressed up. This was on a Thursday, so he was an older man.
I like that you specified that.
Yeah.
I want to make
He
sure
wasn't
that I'm
being
not
creepy.
dressed like a slut. Okay?
Oh my God.
My titties were so out. I'm sorry. I was like, in the beginning, I was like, my cape. I was like, all right, let's go to Javits Center, like 3 blocks. I was like, I'm not. But then I saw there was people who were dressed much, much more naked than I was. Which I was like, why?
Pasties.
And they were like, some of them were bigger, and I went, if she could do it, I could do it. Gave you a little confidence boost.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I didn't do it, but there was much bigger people there. Yeah.
I know, like they're like 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Horizontally.
I thought they were all Abe Lincoln.
No. But
Hey.
I didn't know I was there.
no, but the guy who plays Courage was very nice. he was like, "Can I give you a hug?" He was like, "Oh, hug."
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
He was
Give me a hug.
He was doing the
not a
things I do for love,
Yeah.
and he sounds exactly like him. The things I do for love. He was doing that all the
Things
time,
I do for love.
literally. And I was like, "You've made my day." And I mean, like he was the only person. No.
I saw
If
you
I had-
yesterday
if
with
I-
your tits out.
Oh my god.
I really wanted to
Exactly.
take a picture.
Hashtag not a
That was
freak.
before. The other person I really wanted, they had the whole voice actors of X-Men '97. Like Gambit, they had. I was like,
Do you speak French? Do you?
I don't know. I didn't meet him because I was like, it was either that or that. I don't know. I wasn't gonna spend $70 on each.
They're in the autograph area. Like you
Yeah,
spend
they had it like
tons of money.
No, they were in the
floor?
show floor. Yeah.
Wow.
So we got pretty close to everybody
That's
there.
crazy.
Kevin Sorbo was there too.
We were just talking about
Which flavor was? Yeah. I was like, heaven
He was annoyed flavor. He looked like he was annoyed.
pissed.
For some reason.
Yeah, pissed.
No, you look fine.
I don't know. That was just me.
Yeah. The
It was
Power Rangers. There were a lot of Power Rangers.
All different kinds of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
There was a
Also
lot of-
St. John.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
all Sonic voices.
Oh yeah,
were
the Sonic
there.
voices were there.
Were they all together?
Yeah, they were all across there.
That's neat because they usually don't put them on the show floor. The only time we had that guy from we had that guy from Fantastic Beasts. He
Yeah.
was just on the show floor. He was the only one on the show floor.
Yeah.
Dan Fogelman or
Yeah,
whatever? Yeah, I remember seeing him at the Comic Con.
They were really down to
Because he was the only one there, people didn't even know he was an actor.
Oh my
It was like,
God.
so it's good that they did it that way.
You always see the
Nobody's seen
wrestlers on the floor too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wrestlers.
Jericho.
They had a ton of wrestlers where people were like,
Terrifier? How many Terrifiers were there?
there was a lot of Terrifiers. Like, there was a few Terrifiers. I
Art
was like,
the Clown.
ooh. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
So Reach was like, oh, when she was dressed up as Madeline Pryor, she's like, oh, I gotta find something with Madeline Pryor on it, right? Because I'm dressed up. So
I always, every year when I cosplay, find one thing that has, like,
That
the
character.
person that I'm cosplaying so I can, like, bring it home.
So we find there's like this guy who does all this cover art, right?
You know
And so-
those cover art booths that have, like, line, and it's all on the wall?
Yeah. So one of them had Madeline Pryor on it. So then she's like, oh, can I get the Madeline Pryor one? And then
The shiny one. I was not paying $60 for the shiny one.
yeah, so
No, the
they're
unshiny.
like, oh, you want the foil one? The foil one it was like $60, and then
No.
she's like, no, I'm good, never mind. And then the guy's like, oh, well, the other
No,
one.
that's not it. I said, I'll get that one. The other one's over there. I went, okay. So I got that one. He goes, do you want it signed? It's an extra $20. I went, no.
Yeah, she's like, no, thanks. And then he goes, I'll do it for you. Give me free. I'll do it for free.
Did it
Whoa.
for
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted something and then I found like two more downstairs in the artist alley, but I was like,
Yeah, but so the guy who said that was an extra $20 was like the person that worked for him.
I went,
Wasn't
no.
the artist.
Okay.
The artist.
The picture itself was like $40. And then 20 more bucks. I went, I might as well get the
I
shiny.
don't need your
cover.
dirty
No.
autograph on it.
I don't even know the guy. I just want the photo. Like that's.
Did that like ruin it? Like I want your squiggles, and then you're like squiggles. You're like I don't want it anymore.
I was like, okay, thank
Signs
you.
the
I
whole
didn't-
thing. Fine, you don't want to pay $20.
Signing out of spite.
But yeah, so he signed it for free. It was funny. And then
It's the titties. My titties were out.
Whoa.
Madeline, she was dressed like
I got a lot of
Oh my God.
extra free things because my titties were out. You want me to be honest?
But what was funny too is the other day when she wasn't dressed
I
up,
wasn't dressed up. I had my dead
dog pool shirt.
dog pool shirt on with. I had my. Okay, I had my like yoga pants and okay, I did this to myself, but
They're like we fit trainer.
no. What they did, go ahead.
So one of the guys dressed as Deadpool goes, oh, can I take a picture of you?
Wow.
I was like,
She's like, I'm not even dressed up.
I don't feel good at this point, and I'm so tired. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Can you turn around for the
My
picture?
hair was a mess. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll.
Oh, dude, I love refrigerator. It just like names you whatever.
I'm so tired. I didn't sleep.
that was so
Anytime we
good.
go away, I don't sleep well, and Alex knows this. And I was up at like 5 o'clock every morning, being like, douche on the foot.
But
And it was the same layout as like when we went, so I was like, I miss AJ. I miss AJ. It's so lonely in this room.
Aw.
But
That's
the
sweet.
When I saw hot dogs, I was like,
Yeah, his comfort home.
yeah.
that was his whole weekend because
Yeah.
he didn't feel
Just
good with
holding
his
it.
hot dog.
Gripping it on the
yeah.
train. He went all the way home.
He went all the way home with that hot dog.
Yeah.
Like, it
Uh,
was...
But and then so the other that same day when she wasn't dressed up, we walked by like the X-Men 97 again, and the guy who played Gambit's voice did a double take because he thought she was dressed like Rogue because of her hair.
I'm like, you want to marry me? Okay.
Cherie, come over.
And it was funny because he was wearing like the rock shirt,
Oh,
the
cool.
crowd top rock shirt from
He was
the.
dressed like a floozy himself.
That's so
Yeah,
hot.
it was
yes.
what Gambit wore.
Yeah, but
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
They
With the
were-
love trail.
I liked how they didn't.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't like, oh, this is going to be exclusive. You have to pay to. They were just on the floor, which I was like, that's amazing. I mean, most voice actors usually are on the floor, but
Yeah.
I liked how they were like, they seemed interactive. I also heard Elizabeth Olsen was phenomenal.
Whoa.
She
Oh,
was there
that's cool.
for that. She was such a nice person that she like let people get a little bit extras for free.
No, we didn't see her though.
We didn't see her, but I heard from the site that I'm on that she was phenomenal and she treated everybody like really nice. Yeah, Fox Machina already signed up for next year. I was like, God damn it, I gave me a year off.
Yeah.
But I really, really want and I'd pay for an autograph. But
And so the other panel we went to, we talked about a little bit before the podcast, but it was not James Gunn, the Creature Commandos panel. And so during that panel, they showed like some clips from the new show and things like that, and they had all the different characters where they said like, yeah,
looked good. The clip looked
yeah,
good.
the clip looked good,
The animation looked good.
and they said like all the characters that are playing the voices will play the live action version if we get them in live action.
So they
So-
said they had who else was there? The guy from Stranger Things, the cop.
I watched. Oh, Hopper. Yeah,
Hopper,
David
he was
Harper.
there. He
Yeah.
was very good.
I watched that stream. Sorry that you guys spent all that money, but I watched it on YouTube.
It was free, but we had to
Yeah.
stand on a queue. That was the
So,
only thing.
I saw everything except for the exclusive clips because I'm not a Pop Funko member or whatever you have to be for that. But
Oh, really? You gotta
You
be
can do it if you're a member. You
so
can
the
just
website has strange choices of words where I interpreted it to say like you could live stream it in general, I guess, because I could. But if you but you could go back and watch the archive and see the exclusive things if you're a Funko something or other member.
The people who sign up for the Funko
If
exclusive.
you pay.
Wow.
I'm
the
gonna do that
Funko
shit and then just
exclusive,
watch it
you have
naked
to
in my house.
pay to get a ticket to even
Probably
see
still cheaper
the
to go to
exclusive
Comic-Con.
Funko. Like they have a booth where you can't even get in unless you're a Funko exclusive.
That's why.
Yes, and you got to sign up mad early
Yeah,
to
you
even
do.
get in
They
there.
sold out, and also I also heard the VIP tickets for Comic-Con. Good luck trying to get them because whenever you buy a VIP ticket, the next year you get it first. Like you get first dibs on next year. And I was like, how is that fair to the general public that wants a VIP ticket?
Yeah, Dan got
But
VIP.
You get in first to like panels. You get first dibs on panels. Like you get escorted in first.
You get that little water room.
You get the first. Yeah, you get the water room. You get the first row of seating.
You get the cure for the conquer.
Yeah.
We were going to see if we could get into what we do in the shadows panel, which all the cast was there.
Yeah.
Which
Well, we interrupted the creature command
Sorry.
one, but yeah, I do want to know about that too.
go ahead.
Yeah.
You go first. You go first. Then.
Oh yeah, no. So they had everybody there. They showed the clips. And like James Gunn was talking about how when he wrote this before he got the role of the
See.
head of DCU.
Oh.
So
Wanted this really bad, so he was like, "This is the first thing he greenlit because he wrote it."
yeah, so he greenlit his own thing basically, and so he was saying like how when he watched it the first episode, he was like, "Oh, this is okay," and I was like, "All right." And he said by the fourth episode, he was like hooked. He's like,
Fourth episode,
Yeah.
dude.
But he said like the next two were really good, and then by the fourth, he was like, "Can I have more? I need to see."
Does he
more."
know he greenlit his own shit? He's like, "Hey man, the first fucking 4 episodes are garbage."
All I know
'cause
is
he's-
I'm watching it because of what's his face is in it. The guy from if you guys saw Suicide Squad 2, you know that little rat thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Weasel is in
I can't wait
that,
to see what
and
his brother, right?
he's played
Yeah,
he's played by the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the one with the dog in the last movie, Sean. He was there too. That's Sean Gunn, really?
yeah.
Damn, I didn't know
Yeah.
that was his brother. All right. Well, good to know.
Nepo.
He was there.
Whatever
He
we
was
call
like,
that.
yeah, and I'm
Sibling,
yeah, Nepo. I was like, he was there. The guy who also played in Suicide Squad, the captain, whatever, the guy who's gonna be Rick Flagg's dad.
Rick Flag Sr. He wasn't in Suicide Squad.
Yes, he was.
What? No.
The guy with the dark hair that I was like,
No, he was not because
all right,
He's new.
yeah, he's new. He's playing the dad of the guy who played
I
Rick
am
Flag
going to
Jr.
I
look
miss
this up.
Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo was in Winter Soldier. Does that
Yeah,
count?
that's nice.
Something. He's in something where I was like,
He's
I
in The
remember
Purge,
him.
too.
That's- Yeah, he was there. The guy who plays the cop was there from Stranger Things. He was there, and there was a few other people who were newer.
The girl who played the dog in the
You're right,
Guardians
you're right.
3,
Yeah.
Borat's daughter.
He was
Yeah.
like, he called up all the people that he knew and was like, I think you would be really good for this role. And also the girl, I think she plays, I want to say the girl who plays the Frankenstein's wife.
Mhm.
She's a girl from Game of Thrones, I want to say, but she wasn't there. She couldn't make it, but she plays that main voice of that main girl. She's Cersei.
Cersei plays
I think
Whoa.
I'm almost positive
holy
it sounded
crap.
like it. Let me
She's
look
got
up.
a funny mouth. Did you ever look at her mouth when she talked?
I have not. No.
No.
Have you?
A lot during Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. I'm like, man, your
Like-
mouth moves funny.
You like pause and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
start circling it like
Yeah.
football.
You're like, Matt, what do you think of the dragon? He's like, I didn't see any dragons.
It's just frame by frame of the mouth.
I pull like a red
Wait a
dragon
minute.
and
Yeah.
I yell down and like, look at it.
Why
That
do they
was
pull
her?
so hard on her mouth?
Who? We have an update?
Yeah, no, I was saying because some of the people on there I was like, do I know them? I don't know if I know them. She's from Witcher,
Whoa.
Oh.
the girl with the dark hair. But I was like, who the is that?
How many times was she naked?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just short from Witcher.
Oh, she plays the girl, the mean girl.
Yeah, the girl. Anyways,
Juventus-Stein.
yeah.
The fish girl?
no, it isn't. It actually isn't her. It sounded like her, and it wasn't.
Wait, I'm confused.
No, the Bride of Frankenstein.
Who isn't it?
It wasn't Cersei, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's called the bride, right?
Wow.
She's called the Bride of Frankenstein. That's the Bride of, and Frankenstein's in it too.
That
so-
show comes out like in a month or something like that, and I don't know.
December 5th.
I've been having issues where I like it when I enjoy the hype. Like
Yeah.
it is fun to be on the hype train, but I think it ruined like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for me because I remember I didn't like it as much as I think everyone else here did. So like I remember like going into Peacemaker somewhat blind to be like, oh my god, this show's awesome. And same thing with the Suicide Squad. So I'm afraid it's already too late for me. So
That's why you got to talk about all the bad things. Like I hear they just have like a split shot of a dong in between frames. There's James Bond.
That's gonna make you want to watch.
Oh God. Okay, never mind.
They did say there's a sex scene in it.
They did say there is a sex scene. It's not a kid.
yeah,
Like, there is R-rated. That was a lot of fun. And then we did have one other panel that we were very disappointed that we weren't able to get. Oh, were you done? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just imagined James Gunn slapping his dong on a paper
Most
and him
welcome.
tracing it.
See episode 7 inches.
Yeah. That's in episode 4. That's why he liked it. Episode 4 is real good.
So everybody knows because we've talked about it before that I'm a diehard fan for What We Do in the Shadows. Very big. They announced that they were going to have a panel because this is their last season that they're ever having. So I was like, oh, this is the last time we're going to be able. I got a ticket. Tony didn't. He on the queue, and I was like, I don't know how that works. You signed on at the same time. I'm confused. Okay. So I was like, I'm not going if you're not going because we watched it together. I don't want to go by myself. So we're like, okay, we'll just see. We'll wait in line. There can't be that many people online. We get upstairs and we're like, it's like wrapped. Almost everybody at the con should have just been there. It was that big where I'm like, we're not going to get into this like at all.
And then the show got renewed for 3 more seasons.
Wouldn't that be a dream?
All they say during the whole panel is New York City.
But the thing
They
is, I was
definitely
like,
did.
They made him say that. He said what line? He didn't know what line they were talking about.
What is this preposterous line?
Yeah, he didn't know. He was like, which line? What line? Oh, what do I say? Like, kind of.
Come on,
like,
you're in New York City.
Yeah.
New York.
He didn't even say it exactly the
He
same.
didn't even say it exactly.
New York City.
Yeah.
He doesn't use, where do you work?
Yeah.
The thing is,
It's New York.
every show he's ever acted in, he emphasizes words. Like, it's not like something that he did special for this show. All his other comedy shows, he emphasizes stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so he's just okay.
That's just how he talks.
That's how he talks, acts.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you get tickets to you had like could have sat and had a reserved seat, but you still would have had to wait on that line.
you wait on a separate line if you already have tickets, so you're guaranteed to get in. If you wait on another line that's like without
general
reserving,
line.
you might or may not
Like
get in.
flying standby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even call it
They
standby.
call it standby.
I'm surprised you just aren't able to rip the ticket and both of you get like half of the seat.
That's true.
Well, it's digital.
You could do that.
It's just attached to your.
Print it.
It got me angry because I saw a lot of people, like especially the creature feature, going like this.
Creature Commandos.
No, these two seats. I was saying, like, if that person didn't have a VIP sitting that I waited on a queue for, they shouldn't be able to save seats.
And VIP, you go straight to the front of whatever panel you want, right?
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
go
up to a
wherever-
point
up
because
to
then
a
you have the
point.
ADA seating.
No, then you have the VIP one.
Oh,
So we have VIP and whoever reserved a ticket, and then the rest of the people get whatever they.
Yeah, because that's way worse than it used to be then. Because like, that's
why I
crazy.
said VIP
Yeah.
would be cool if they let us have access to VIP, which I was like VIP would because you get exclusive sitting to panels. So like, when we go next time or however long, I would love to like see more panels. There wasn't.
That's my favorite thing.
yeah.
Is the
this year.
panels.
Because you can only see so much on the floor, right? Because like you walk around the floor, okay, the first day, maybe second day because you miss things, but then by the third day, you're like, I saw everything. I don't know what else to do.
That's why we were sitting there. We're like, we saw everything. We got everything we could physically want that we were willing to spend.
Yeah.
And then we're just sitting there. The food, we made the mistake the first two days where we're like, we're hungry. We got food there and it was like
$50, yeah.
it's like $50 every time, and we're like, buck. So
Yep.
So what we did was the third day we ended up getting the Subway and just. But even Subway was almost. I was like, all right, I'm over this.
Me and Gianna went to the bubble tea place. We got bubble tea. We got dumplings. We got the stuff. I'm like, oh my god, we got the food we would get at Comic-Con, but we paid
Way
normal
less.
price.
Yeah.
And while you guys were at Comic-Con, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is kind of cool. I kind of just like the food right now.
And then just live stream the panels.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Naked.
The highlight.
Naked.
one of the highlights of the food is when we were with Charlie and Rachel, and we afterwards because they stayed in the hotel. They
hung out with you guys?
stay
Yeah.
one night.
One night,
Stayed
yeah.
over in the hotel the one night.
Oh, cool.
They paid for one night, and we're like, okay, cool. So they came later. They forgot their.
Oh,
They also forgot their
at home and
tickets.
had to turn around. We're like, every year one person.
Yeah.
Every fucking year, at least one person.
they're not digital tickets.
No,
Why?
and you're like, yeah, dude.
The tickets.
Yeah.
Everything else is digital.
I don't know.
Because they want you to pay the full ticket price again when you get there and you forgot your ticket.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
So they are. I'm sorry. Especially because they have you in the computer, you can't just give me.
yeah.
I pay for-
Show your identification.
They don't
Yeah.
care. They do not care. So
What jerks?
we afterwards we get all undressed. We're extremely tired because this is the day we cosplayed, and even Rachel cosplayed as Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
But so we're really tired, and we're like, oh man, we're really hungry. So Charlie's like, let's go to this place that's phenomenal. It's like 8 blocks, but New York blocks, but it's a ramen place that's like authentic ramen in like the big bowl with egg and the chicken and the
Yum.
authentic.
K-Town or something.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
but I don't think it was even in K-Town. It was right next to a hotel we stayed at.
Yeah, it was near Hell's Kitchen, right?
It was
Wasn't
near
it?
Hell's
Oh, okay.
Kitchen.
Dang.
I've never tasted such good ramen. I literally was like, I was shook. I had curry ramen.
Whoa, that sounds delicious.
It was. I'm sorry. The chicken was the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. It was phenomenal. You get bubble tea with it.
Dang.
This place
curry
was really
katsudon.
good.
This isn't the first example I've heard of like ramen being life saving when you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
It really hit different because I was like, I was already exhausted, and I started not feeling great Thursday.
Oh, my God.
And I went, okay. I thought it was just because the hotel air is dry, and I was like, oh, that's dry. Like,
Like Arizona.
yeah, like I was like, I'm just, my house has steam heat. It's like steam heat, so like it's a little different than regular heat, whatever. And we also it was cold and whatever. I was trying to make excuses for why I didn't feel good. Then we cosplay, and then after that, I was like, oh, that right before we left, I was like, you like take me out, because I was like, thank God at bodegas they sell like little
Medicine.
medicine.
Then I filled up a syringe with water.
Medicine. So
Not even was in here.
we did that, but I'm telling you, no matter how overpriced like food around the Javits Center is, like bodegas taste like their actual sandwiches are so much different than here. That it's like they had chopped cheese and stuff like that. I got like chicken cutlet, lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
Yeah, they slap.
And it not even.
I'm so hungry now.
No.
Just talking.
Do you know when we stay at the hotel that we stay at, Alex, which is the same hotel we stayed at last year?
Yeah.
The Voco. You know when you go around the corner, there's that bodega right there?
Yeah.
Keep going. There's a second one. That one was the best. Even better than that corner.
Okay. So we watched this movie, this Kevin Smith movie called The 4:30 Movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's also probably the IMDb rating. 4.3. Yeah.
Oh, I think you say 4 out of 30.
Liked it that much?
Loved it.
What did I think? Yeah. It had its moments. It was certainly a Kevin Smith movie. It's like you gotta know what you're getting into before you go into them. So
It's like The Clerk is the only movie he ever made.
made. This one's Clark's in a blank. This one's Clark's in a movie theater.
Oh, okay.
This one's Baby Clerks.
This one is interesting.
Yeah.
Which Clerks movie?
So,
Harley Quinn Smith's scene was probably the most tasteful part
that was
of the movie.
crazy.
That was rough. Very rough.
What? Yeah, that was crazy. That was nuts. I didn't think the movie would be a lot of like that was the intergalactic cable kind of section where you get in the movie trailers and they're sitting in the theater. They're like, this movie, and then they're watching an actual movie and they're like talking the whole. I'm like, bro, if these people were in the theater,
Yeah, right.
getting the fuck out. I'd be like, get out! I'm trying to watch a fucking movie.
Drop them.
Yeah, drop.
Much, yeah.
Probably especially back then, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying for every single movie. You don't get a movie pass.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're sneaking in and out of the movies, but I don't know. I think there was a little aspect of it where I saw like some Kevin Smith interviews where he's like, "This is not like, it's not me, guys. It's not me."
Yeah.
And then
That's
everyone
what they all say when it bombs.
No. He's saying, guys, like it's not like it's based off of like experiences I had, but that main character is not me.
Okay.
And then they're like
Special features. He's like, yeah, this guy is based off of this guy, one of my best friends.
And the cast is like, yeah, this person went up and like, you're
Yeah.
playing me in the movie.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You can't go and say, it's not me.
They changed the name. It's not.
Well, and you know, as disturbing as whatever he made his actual daughter do, he wanted his daughter to play the main female lead.
Yeah, that would have been nuts.
which would have been the love interest of little him, emulated or not.
Yeah.
And she was like, I listened to their podcast. They have like it's fun, but it's also a little rough, you know. They are just like talk like they're best friends type of like podcast. It's called Beardless Dickless Me. Kevin Smith and his daughter, and it's just like Dad, I've been in therapy since I've been 12. Do you really want to make it worse? Like, so she turned it down and decided to just have like a weird scene with Jay instead, which is like her uncle.
Yeah,
so.
worse.
Oh, man.
Worse.
No, it was good.
Because the main character is her boyfriend in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been her boyfriend dad in the movie.
That's okay because the girlfriend wife is just like a sister you haven't met yet.
Huh.
I think that's a song.
Song we're gonna make.
This is gonna be one of the plots in a D&D that we're gonna do.
Well, there's also they introduced the first character he gets to like see is like that guy outside that's standing outside by like the pier, and he's like, I'm gonna go see the movie. So he goes, oh yeah, you're gonna see the movie. That guy never shows up again for the rest of the movie. He's gone.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just standing outside.
Oh, yes,
He's
I
just-
remember now. Yeah, he's the guy that they were talking about movies together briefly, and then he's like,
I'm like, oh, what role is he gonna play? None. He never comes back in the fucking.
he played Deckman.
I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, what? Why did we see that? Why was that scene there?
That scene was strange.
Yeah.
And then I did like, what was his name? Sergeant Slaughter was the man from Detroiters, our favorite guy.
He was my favorite part. Of the movie.
He was really good.
Oh, yeah. The guy from Veep, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, he was in Veep too?
He's very much in Veep. He's a very major character in Veep.
He was really funny in this because the guy's like seeing him as this big male role model, and then he's like, "No, I love her. I'm gonna give her flowers."
What's his slogan?
Oh yeah, the movie had plenty of moments that I liked. For some reason, as that Beaver Dam movie within the movie was happening, I just found it funnier and funnier. I don't know why. Just like as the joke got older and older, I was like, I can't believe they're still doing this. This is hilarious. I was just like, so they were watching some sort of like, what was what's the name of the actor? Voices Batman, right?
Yeah. I don't remember the name.
Batman breaks the mold.
Yeah.
DJ, Diedrich Baker. Or something?
The guy with the cool voice.
Yeah. He's just like, damn it, damn. Just they're like on a spaceship and they're beavers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the guy that played Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies movie.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. So there was some funny stuff in there, but when it was all said and done, it was just clerks in a movie theater. And to your point before about like, is it Kevin Smith's life? Yes and no. Yeah. There's a scene where who was it? Jason Lee plays the kid's dad in like a really short, brief scene. And on one of his podcasts, Kevin was just like, "Yeah, someone called me up. It was like, it was nice to see your dad, and like in your movie." So it's like he gets to pick and choose, I guess, what it is his real life and what it's not.
Yeah, I was like, just say it's like based on. Yeah, just be honest and be upfront about it.
Be in a
like,
Mary Sue.
We get it. He does a little to himself in the movie, which is fine. It's fine. Fine. He wrote it. It's fine. Girl likes him. It's cool. Whatever. He gets the girl. He gets all that stuff. Fine. But just be honest about what it is.
Yeah. Which I maybe he like changed his mind over time. Maybe he's like more admitting because I think he pointed out like there's like a New York Times like really I think because as far as I can tell, not that I paid attention, but he seems to have a takeaway that this is one of his best well-received movies in a long time.
The only good movie he's fully made was the one with Ben Affleck.
Which one? Jersey Girl.
Chasing Amy.
Amy?
I like Chasing
Dogma.
I like Chasing Amy.
And and the Clerks, the original Clerks.
What about Clerks
like
2?
Clerks 2.
Yeah,
Clerks
with
2.
The Clerks series, all right?
You like Clerks 3?
I like Clerks.
All right, guys.
All right, Clerks 1 and 2. I get it.
Yeah. Clerks 3 where they just kill everybody.
Post-heart attack Clerks.
Yeah.
Mhm. Not the new one.
There you go. Yeah.
Excluding the new one.
So 1 and 2.
And that's it. That's it. But you
What about Yoga Hosers, which was just Canadian Clerks?
The thing is, I don't know.
never seen it.
Oh,
I just like hearing him talk so much that when he makes a movie, I was like, oh, I want to support him. I like him a lot. And then I watched it like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, that's the recipe. But I just like I just like him as a person. I like his podcast. I feel like I've gotten so much free shit from him that I was just like, oh, okay, let's pay for his movies when they come out and give him a shot.
He was at Comic-Con. He over at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I think as a director, like, good. You know? Like, the
Grown
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of good stuff with that. It's just I feel like the story's still not there. Like,
yeah.
I think it was close to being like a cool, fun, like, oh, like all the friends getting together kind of movie. But like even that emotional point of the movie, it's like that I didn't feel too earned
It's
when
'cause
it
he's a
happens
robot.
either.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's just gonna happen like that, and then it goes right back to like, oh, we're all good. Because when that guy's first introduced, I'm like, he doesn't like these people. He's like that jock bully ass.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, we're not going to be friends. And he's like, I'm so hurt by this. I was like, you sure that guy's a dick? I'm like, what? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I still think it was like has fun aspects of it and stuff. You know, I don't think it was like dog ass.
Yeah.
I think it was just
We've
okay.
seen way worse
Oh, yeah.
movies.
yeah. It was enjoyable on somewhat of a level. I don't know, but
No level.
but it wasn't without plenty of just like, oh yeah, the girl says, wow, you sure really love movies. I think like that could be the drinking game, like for that. Like every time she says that, take a drink. And she's like played well by this actress that wasn't his daughter, and did a good job. I was like, dang, you could have written her a few other ways to say the same thing, I guess.
Well, your knowledge base on cinematic sure is groovy.
Wow, you are IMDb.
What did you feel about them not getting to watch the movie?
Yeah, I think I cared more about what like earlier in the movie, then I kind of forgot about it. Yeah,
Because I was like, all this
frustrated.
for them to just talk to what was her mom in the movie theaters?
Yeah, because the mom caught them going into the...
With Rosario Dawson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, Kate McCucci. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I wanted them to watch this damn movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you got to see glimpses of the trailers. I showed us a glimpse of the actual movie.
Yeah. Let them watch this damn movie.
The other thing that took me out of it, I mean, I'm focusing on the negatives. There was plenty of charm and fun.
Yeah.
The positive, I thought Ken Jeong was, I don't know. Well, he didn't have to be there, but he I thought was so funny.
He was.
And
He was
I think the movie wouldn't be watchable if he wasn't in it. I think he makes the movie what it is.
What is Batmobile?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
He was like the most random, like, cartoony character, but he's the owner of the movie theater, and he's just like always there, like policing the place.
Yeah.
And he was a lot. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And he's always making deals with people.
Yeah.
He's on the phone being like, I was about
Yeah.
to land this popcorn deal. And your mom called me again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Calls him out of the theater like
Yeah.
5 times. Your mom again.
Yeah. So he's great. Yeah. The other thing is like the movie doesn't do it at first, but maybe it's like halfway into the movie where it does it the first time, and then it keeps doing it. Is like nods of the future events, and like they start with like baseball for some reason, like the Mets winning the World Series, and like that'll never happen again.
Yes.
Well, whatever, it takes place like 2 years before they will win the World Series or whatever it takes place. And then they do it for like the MCU.
They do it a lot.
And then it's just like they just keep doing it. I'm like, I get it. You're from the future.
Yeah. No, me and Matt had the same thing when we were watching. Like, what? Like,
Yeah. Is anyone like
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
This is going to be so funny.
And there's got to be editors who are like reading it and they're like, yeah, that's solid.
Not for his movie. Written by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edited by Harley Quinn Smith. Like, we got to change up to the scene with me and Jay.
This part is very important.
All right. So the show is just underway, but the final season, What We Do in the Shadows. You said there's 3 episodes out. I saw the first one.
There's 3.
Yeah. So
That they released 3, I think, because they already showed.
more reason you're crying.
Yes,
Really?
because it's the last season.
Oh.
That's why I'm crying.
I thought
It was good. No, it was good. I'll let you explain a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I can see why this is the last season because there's not much you can do now.
More than
than what already happened.
Yeah.
So like I appreciate them wrapping it up without trying to drag.
I love how they're backtracking Guillermo like all the time. I feel like it's like such a nod, being like, "Shut up, Guillermo." That's the joke.
well-
Anytime something happens, Guillermo could not be there, and they're like,
Well, the last
"Shut up."
season he was a vampire.
He was.
Yeah.
And
He
they
essentially reached his goal. And
they
then
undid
went-
it.
Yeah.
They sleep. There was a whole episode about sleep hypnosis, and they were all sleep hypnosing each other about like, you're gonna be very cleanly because you're really dirty, the wife. And then the other way was, it was mostly Laszlo. Wait,
Yeah, New York City.
Yeah.
no, the
Nandor.
Nandor. Sorry, I
okay.
get them confused. Nandor sleep hypnosing to be like he's Richard Nixon, and then he also the first thing they did? Oh, that he took sides with Robert
Colin Roberts.
Colin Robinson. I'm not good with names. Colin Robinson.
I'm doing pretty good so far.
They sleep hypnosed him to be friends with Colin Robinson because he needed somebody to ally with. And then they were good friends with each other. And then they were fighting about a corner. That was the while where Guillermo used to sleep. But now he moved out into a new apartment, which is his backyard.
Yeah.
The place where he would jerk off in the shed.
It just seems like this. What the first episode that I saw seems to set up for the final season. It, they introduced a character that they just forgot was sleeping the whole time.
Yeah.
They were supposed to wake him up in 1997.
He was only supposed to sleep for like a week or two, but they actually let him sleep for like 50 years.
Yeah.
And he was like, "How is the conquest of the new world going?" And they're like, "About that. We have this house.
We have this block and almost the other
So
block.
it seems like this guy is like trying to like kick everything up. Is like, will something actually happen in terms of like vampires taking over?
because he joined the council,
conquering?
right?
Yeah. at the end of
And
the
then
first
he joined the council because they couldn't stand him anymore, so they moved him to the girl who plays she's in Bob's
Kristen
Burgers.
Shaw.
Yeah, Charles is in it.
She's awesome.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, she's always funny in that show. And then what was like the other aspect of the show? I feel like it's building towards.
Oh, she works at Nadia works at an actual job, a human job. So she's like, on the weekends I can kick back and relax and not have to. You remember she worked the whole episode with.
You only saw
I only
the
saw the
first
first.
episode.
But that's okay. You're not giving away any jokes or anything.
There's an episode where Guillermo gets a real job and he is like in the banking world, and they end up sneaking in to make sure that he doesn't get too powerful and forget where he came from or something like that. So
It's actually the opposite. They want him to do good at the job because they heard of another familiar that one day he tried to go back to the human world and just he couldn't do it. So what he ended up doing was killing all the vampires in the house.
Yeah, he couldn't acclimate back into society as like a human being. So he went back and killed all of his other. This is just a rumor. So they were like, we have to make sure he succeeds in this.
Yeah.
So one of them is a janitor, and the other one.
Nandor is a janitor.
Nandor is a janitor, and the other one is just a businesswoman.
I don't even know what Nadja does at the company.
But she really excels
That
in
sounds
whatever she does.
Yeah.
She really excels, and it was that Guillermo didn't want, not Guillermo, Laszlo didn't want her working. That was a whole nother episode where they got in a fight at one point where they didn't speak for 100 years or 50 years. But they were in the house, so they'd speak to you. Tell him that I want, like, that because they're married for a while, and he didn't want her to work, and she didn't want something for him where they didn't agree.
She didn't want him telling her what to do.
Yes, that was the big thing. So, and then the last one was a sleep hypnosis, which was funny.
So it seems like it gets back right into the episodic nature of everything, and who knows? What are they, 12 episode seasons?
Something
12
like
or 13 maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I like that the first episode, I thought they were also like, it's just like, it's kind of like snap back to reality type of deal. Like what are you doing? Because they acknowledge the cameras.
Yeah.
When the guy's like,
what are all these humans doing here filming?
he goes,
us?
so no humans know that we're vampires anymore. And you're like, no. And they're like,
Then what are all these humans filming us for?
and then Nadia goes, wait a minute. They forgot that they're like, they're cool. And they're like, wait a minute. Does that mean, I like how
That's funny.
Yeah,
they're
that's really
involving
funny.
the camera crew a lot more because the second episode,
So they do keep doing.
Yeah.
Good.
the second episode, they're like, you can't film in here. This is my actual job.
Yeah.
And they pay off the guy to go, no, we're making a financial documentary. So they let him into film, and the guy's like, such a good show. I love it's like so quirky. It's so good.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I like how they will never let, that's what I'm saying, they will never let Guillermo like live his best life. I think that's like a running joke where like he'll hit a point and then they'll regress.
Yeah, happiness is fleeting for him.
He'll eventually get back to where he was, and you're like, oh. But they care about him because they miss him. So he lives as like a roommate. I think this is in the first episode. He lives as a roommate in the shed.
Yeah.
He got an apartment. He pays for rent because he can't afford rent like in any other place. So he'll come in to take a shower, and they'll be like, well, what do you think about this, Guillermo? And he'll be like, no, I'm not involved. I'm not here. I don't want to what do you think we should? No, I'm not involved. I'm not here.
Because they can't do anything by themselves.
They still want him around, even though he's not their familiar anymore. They still, you could see they still care about him, even if, you know, he's not around.
Well,
It's cool. I like
more to come on the Shadows show. Got to bring it up because it's it's Dragon Ball Daima. I mean, you've seen how many episodes? 2 so far, and there's 3 out, so just one extra one. But you guys, that sounds like you guys haven't seen it quite yet. But this is a show that we were all a little afraid of.
I wasn't. I was excited for it. I love stuff like this where it's weird.
Dragon Ball babies.
Yeah, it's like having Muppet babies and everything, and Rugrats, but not all grown up. Ew.
Not that one.
Yeah, not that one. That was not canon.
Will it be GT? Will it be like for 4-year-olds, or will it just be like, I don't know, something? So, what do you think of it so far?
I like it. No, I enjoy it. I definitely think it's fun. I like the aspect of it being lighthearted and kind of being a throwback. It's like a continuation of Dragon Ball, which is neat because it feels like like where GT was like the Grand Tour and also kind of had like that Dragon Ball aspect.
Yeah,
This is doing it like
adventure.
this is doing it in a cool, fun way too, where it's like, oh, you're introducing these new characters. You have the old cast. You know from the intro that like the people are going to be able to all go together on the journey, even though. It seems like it's going to start with Goku. You're going to get like the Vegeta and Bulma.
Yeah, but it's evidenced by like the closing themes and stuff. It's Piccolo, Vegeta, Goku, and the new people.
Yeah. So it's fun, and there's still a character in that intro. I don't know if it's introduced in episode 3, but like, who the hell is that?
The girl.
Yeah.
Not yet. Yeah.
Ah,
Master Roshi's got his libido.
yeah. Oh, so funny. Yeah, it's like a fun, quirky, enjoyable.
And I think it looks good.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Great.
Where are the other characters like Gohan, Trunks?
Babies.
Oh, they're babies.
Gohan.
They're like babies, or they're like
We haven't seen Gohan. They said Gohan is off studying or something.
As a baby.
Yeah, probably.
Shit.
I mean, people that weren't physically at that party still got turned into children, babies.
Yep. Huh.
So I don't see why he wouldn't be as well. Just wherever he is, they just left him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a child like all of the other ones, because all the people that were what was it during boot time and were older, and they're just like younger selves. So maybe Gohan's younger self.
Yeah, because he's growth spurts, so you could just become a little. Yeah, imagine he's just like the crybaby. Like at the
Oh my God.
Balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what I immediately liked about it was just so much lore being thrown in. It's like you just feel like, oh, they're just gonna like squeeze this story in between the end of Majin Buu and the end of Z type of era, and they just, I mean, the lore is like silly but also cool at the same time. The pointed ears thing, and what that implies. But it works in some ways as well. Because when they introduced Piccolo, he was the Demon King.
Yep.
And they imply certain things about the lore of the where the Namekians originally come from.
And the Supreme Kais too, yeah?
Yeah. So it's like, oh, it's not everyone, but most of people, it's like pointed ears are like the gateway in some ways. The way they actually travel to and from the demon realm is very imaginative, I'll say. It was in the first episode, right? Through the giant fish's mouth.
Was that in the first one? I don't even know.
It was, because that's how they get to Earth and grant their wish all in the first episode. And it's a character. And in episode 3, there was a funny moment between it and Goku, where Goku, it's crazy because he must be like, I don't know, like size proportions. Say like the size of like a gigantic planet, like this weird fish in the sky. You travel through its mouth to get to the demon realm. And then the Goku and the new characters or Supreme Kai are in like this little spaceship. And Goku's like, "What's with the giant goldfish?" And he hears him. He's like, "How dare you? I'm not a goldfish." And he's like, "You're totally a goldfish." It's like, it was like such classic Dragon Ball goofy humor about it, and like it's just like you can imagine it as like as a manga, just like him pissing off
it's like it just seems very like genuine Dragon Ball goofy little humor.
That's funny.
The episode 3 weird moment. Goku jerked off his power pole and it gets longer.
Whoa!
It was like a dialogue scene, and like the animators just been like, how do we make this more interesting? Let's make Goku do this to his pole, and then it accidentally like hits it extends when he didn't mean it to.
He's a baby, right?
No,
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's little.
He's mini.
The wish is to make them little.
Oh, but they still have the same
Mentality.
of like,
Yeah,
the other.
but he does go back to like his old ways and opinions and kind of like
Jovial.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
He's always been a little silly.
yeah.
Just a
He used to stare at Bulma's pussy.
He did tap on that thing quite a bit.
Immediately. Episode 2.
Yeah. Let's not forget. I love what the power pole was being used for.
Yes.
I was dying.
Yeah, like
It was so funny.
where did we leave that thing? I was like, hey, they actually remembered. Like, you remember the last time the power pole was used in Dragon Ball era?
I don't remember. No.
Going from because they introduce Catman. Hold on, being a Whiskers the Wonder Cat. On top of you have to climb the tower, and Kami's palace is well above Korn's.
Yeah, Corn's Tower.
And basically, it's like this was like Goku had the power pole from the beginning. There's like a slot for it. Power pole extended takes him up to Kami's, where he meets Mr. Popo and Kami for the first time in Dragon Ball. That was the last time you saw it, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, whatever did happen to it," and they answer that question.
Yeah,
and it's a very Dragon Ball type of answer.
Where does it take place in the timeline?
I love that the show actually says exactly where it takes place in the timeline when you watch it. Yes, because it's not like it's after Z before Super.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Well, Dragon Ball Z has like a really big time skip between the defeat of Majin Buu and like Oob and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very close to the defeat of the defeat of Majin Buu.
and they even have Trunks say his age just so you make sure you know exactly when this is happening.
Oh, interesting.
It's like I'm 8. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. When they show them all in their normal sizes and stuff, I was like, oh, it looks so good. And Trunks having purple hair the way he should. It's like there was just a show where he had super blue hair. Whatever. Yeah, but I think it's got really good humor. I like that, all the extra stuff, the lore that they're adding to it. They do acknowledge Super because they talk about universes and being Universe 7, even though they retcon something in a big way. Yeah, something from Super. I guess you probably won't care. It's how Supreme Kai and Kibito are separated.
Yes.
In Dragon Ball Super, they say like, oh, we didn't like being combined, so we went off and used the Namekian Dragon Balls. This one, they completely say they got separated a completely different way, which to me is like, this is going to be relevant in this show. Why else would they do that?
Yeah.
Because it is very much of the magical demon realm. Like there's going to be elements like that in this show, I think. So,
And that was a fun way for them to get separated in this one too. It was like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it is more fun than the way they did in Super off screen, and I think it'll be relevant.
Yep.
So
Interesting.
yeah, I think it's cool. It hasn't been like crazy like fights yet. Episode 1 is really solid. 2 and 3 I think are a little bit more like tame, like, but it seems like the preview for the next episode seems like it'll be a lot of fight. Maybe episode 4. Okay. All right. So you guys watch Salem's Lot?
Ooh, stinky.
I was so excited.
The second half of it
It was better.
a lot better than
The
the
second half was better than the first.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, the problem was
Uso wasn't
Stephen
good.
King was on the premise when they were filming.
Oh, the second half.
Daddy's
No,
here.
just in general. Like he was there. The thing is,
Because the first half is
certain
ass.
characters
Boring.
aren't supposed to die. Like in the actual, like canonically in the book, that priest guy, he shows up in the Gunslingers in the Dark Towers. He's a main character.
Oh.
He is actually one of the main characters that helps like stop like the Dark Tower and Randall Flagg and stuff like that. He comes back, they drive away, and then he comes back later when they're older and sees that the son, that the kid that he adopted at the end, standing over his grave and showing that he did care. Like they were able to start a new life and have a better life. And that's that. But
To its credit, though, I did like it infinitely more than Doctor Sleep.
I did too. Yeah, no, 100%.
that's why I was like, and with the town, I looked really into this because I was very excited about it, and I like Stephen King. The town, what the whole thing is supposed to be like a dying town. The small town that's dying.
Yeah, like nobody's
Draining
there.
itself. There's no one there.
Does a town die?
It's like when people move away from a small town,
Yeah.
like upstate.
Population is declining.
Yes, like
Or like that Pennsylvania city that's
Like
syndrome
every-
embrace. Yeah.
correction. Like every single town that's like where I used to live is very much like that. Like if there's nothing, nobody's fixing anything, and people can't afford anything. It becomes like you have to move out to be able to get a job. It just becomes almost impossible to stay.
What I don't understand is why they keep overpopulating our areas and not just expanding
there's
into
jobs.
those areas.
Jobs
Make
here.
jobs there.
I know, easier said than done.
Just expand like
used to be
our
factories.
area up there slowly,
There used to be a ton of
gradually.
factories. There used to be ton of factories that people worked in, and they started shutting down the factories, and now there's no place for anybody to work.
Make
so
them into like a new Bad Dragon pop-up shop or something.
right,
Everybody would work there.
and there's other towns, like there is like upstate, there is bigger towns that you can go to, but this is a very good example. He did pretty well on the fact that dying towns, how a dying town feels. Tony's been to a dying town, right?
Yeah, your town upstate.
Oh my god.
It's like that, where there's nobody around.
2 trains.
2 train
Yep.
times
Yeah.
a day.
That's it.
Yep,
Those are
that's
the
it.
only trains.
That's
right?
it.
The train goes to Montreal, so it's 2 train times. The first half, I was like, "What the fuck is going on with the glowing cross?" I don't know.
That took me so out of the movie.
Oh shit,
That's
it's going.
that
Yeah.
was so fucking
That took
stupid.
me so out of the movie.
Yeah.
That glowing cross, I could not handle.
And they kept doing it. They kept doing
Yeah.
the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Why?
And it looked like
Why?
a Minecraft cross.
Yes.
when it
Yeah.
glowed.
Oh my God.
And it would be a wooden cross that was not in that shape.
And then, of course, they're also like, when it doesn't work, they're like, well, it's not working. The cross isn't glowing.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
That means they're physically seeing it
yes,
glow.
it's glowing. It's actually glowing. I
That's
was like, oh my
crazy.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
My brain
That-
deleted
that's-
that.
Oh no, that's
And
burned in my brain.
I don't know
Mine
why
too.
they
My brain
hired-
you don't need it.
I don't know why they hired like actors that were very unknown, because like
What about the kid from The Boys?
the one okay, the one
That's actually his twin brother.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was just his
really
That's his twin brother.
I thought he's always played by twins in The Boys.
No, but in this, it was
Well,
the
other one.
brother.
strictly the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you
They,
twins.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those actors didn't know how to execute the lines very well. The lines weren't bad. It was the execution of those lines.
And I was upset that they only showed the vampire once.
Yeah, they really.
Oh yeah, that
that-
crazy cool.
The
looking
main
thing.
one?
Yeah, the main one. It's like, what? What? He was all over the town in the original, I remember,
Yeah.
or at least a couple more times. than
There was
one.
definitely
He
more.
F's off.
Yeah.
You could see there was definitely more, and
Why would there be a cool vampire in it only for a moment?
so the town is supposed to be like they strictly stay in that town, like in the book, like that is the town.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not trying to take over the world. They're just in that town. It also exists in the Stand universe.
Mm.
So they drive by
Salem's Lot.
Wow.
to get to wherever they're going in the Stand. In the comic book, at least one that I read, because who can read a book this big?
Geniuses?
You know,
It's great stock.
So I'm thinking about the movie now. Like, what was why all of a sudden were they turning everyone into vampires?
Yeah, they're going to run out of
They brought
people.
a vampire
Yeah.
in.
So
They brought him in from somewhere else.
Wait, so this vampire didn't originate in
Pennsylvania.
They brought him in from overseas.
So who brought him
Remember the
in?
crate? The guy who was
Yeah, the crate with the dirt in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Brought him
think
in.
It was really silly when the kid from The Boys flies into the other boy's window.
Yeah,
That happened in the. Didn't that happen in the original one? In the original movie, it happened.
And it was really because he's like, I'm gonna save you, and then he fucking murders
Murders
her at
him,
the end.
yeah.
and he goes, I did it.
Yeah.
I told you.
I told you I'd save you. Yeah.
Sorry, that kid was
Bro.
a fucking story.
Yeah.
They had all the right ideas
But
and
it
everything.
took so long for the movie to get to who you're following as the main character.
And so what I thought was strange too. This is one of the things I thought was strange was like I told you while we were watching it. I was like, a lot of stuff is nothing happening, and then all of a sudden stuff is happening too quick.
yeah.
Where it's like this person vampire. I was
Yes.
like, wait, this should have been spaced out.
People you thought were the leads.
Yeah,
And then,
And then,
once
that one lady, the doctor with the rabies shot.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
the only one they could hire that was actually a good actor. Like, go ahead.
She had crazy eyes. There were times where she got.
She's a famous actress, though. They can only hire her, and that's
that was
it.
so great. Give me the shot. Give me the shot.
And then
you
she
notice-
dies in the end.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Look at everybody.
Everybody dies.
Yeah.
How him, the
The-
girlfriend. Give her the shot.
Yeah.
I'm in a church.
Yeah.
I don't got no shot on me. You want me to walk around with that shit?
Did you notice when they were at the drive-in movie theater in the beginning that he couldn't hold an accent for long? Like, he was like, "You are from the South. I can hear your accent through whatever the fuck accent you're trying." Remember that?
Yeah.
I said, "I can hear your accent through whatever accent you're trying to do." I was like, "This is why they needed to bring like some."
English actor to the
Thank you.
screen.
Yeah, they did. They did. Some of the line delivery of the lines were a little poopy in the beginning. Where you
Yeah.
We almost gave up. We almost did. We were almost like, are we going to finish this? And then it started, like, the movie happened.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's a
When I told you you have to push through.
But you said half of it is good. So
I thought
I
the
wasn't
first
sure
half-
if you were talking about the first or the
Yeah.
second. I was like, if this is the good half, this movie sucks.
The beginning half is not the good part.
yeah.
The end part is. And people said that the ending. I didn't love the ending either, but it was better than the first part. Where it just ends and they drive away. But apparently it just ends and they drive away in the book. Apparently I heard this book wasn't the most entertaining book to begin with. The idea was cool.
But that's like all of Stephen King's work, isn't it? Like The Shining, I think, is supposed to be interesting, but the movie made it way more interesting with Stanley Kubrick.
The issue
Stephen
is
King hated it.
yeah. The issue is
Still good.
with this man. No, the
Making me look bad.
no, the issue with the issue is with this with that is that Dr. Sleep will make no sense if you tie that into that, because
Yeah.
the ending, the dad wasn't supposed to die freezing to death. He was supposed to die burning to death in that boiler room where he ended up being in that book. They said the reason why Stephen King was angry was because Stanley Kubrick made the main character out to be a bad guy from the very beginning.
But
They said, no, in the book he said that he was an alcoholic, and he was Stephen King channeled himself into that character, and how he was just a guy, not a bad guy. He didn't beat his kid. He was supposed to be a guy that was taken by, like, out, quote unquote, the monster, the hotel, which was the monster, or alcohol, and turned into a bad person.
Sorry he made your
Yeah.
story better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Stanley Kubrick because the way he treated Shelley Duvall.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
messed
awful, but the
her
movie,
up.
you can't deny the movie's good.
The movie's good, but
Yeah.
rip.
I mean, if we start talking about directors, we can't like any of the X-Men movies because Brian's...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're right. But
And we don't.
Yeah, they're all...
I like that version of it, but I can see why if you write a book about yourself, because he was an alcoholic
And a cocaine addict.
and a cocaine addict, and he wrote it to like be like, this is what this like substance or this monster turned me into.
Turned
kind
him
of
into a
thing.
car.
No,
What, did he write Christine
That's
to
a
that?
different one, yeah.
he wrote Christine and Cujo. He doesn't remember writing. He was like, it would have been fun remembering to write those, but I don't remember writing.
Ah,
them.
dude, I wish I was like that. I could just like write shit and be like, well, I don't even remember writing because I did.
That's a lot of people with
Yeah.
just everything, you know. Well, who cares? Technology's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always wonder though, like what? So Stephen King's books. I haven't.
Back in.
I haven't.
No,
No, I'm saying I haven't read any of them.
Yeah.
But it sounds like sometimes it's the movies that are better than the book. So then,
especially it, because they cut out an explicit part.
Yeah.
And the turtle too, right? Like the flying
Yes.
Land turtle.
Yeah, all of it had.
Except the recent movies. The recent movies touch upon a land turtle.
Yeah, they bring up the turtle. They don't
Yeah.
show
They don't show
bring up
it.
the shine, they bring up the thing, the light.
Yeah,
shows.
the dead
That's
lights.
actually the dead
Yeah, yeah.
lights. But that turtle is actually in the universe of the Stand. So it ends up being that he has like a multiverse where Randall Flagg, who is the villain of that, plays a majority of the catalyst for like the Mist, that old woman that was super religious, that was starting shit with everybody in the movie. That's Randall Flagg, and he's from the Stand. He just is able to shapeshift into what he needs to do to create chaos. So a lot of Stephen King's books have him in it. They're all like interconnected with each other. So if you make one without the other.
Do you think that's an after the fact thing
Yes, I think.
where he was like,
No, because he said, when I watched an interview, he said that was his main. He always had the idea of Randall Flagg as like a main villain. Like it was always like his idea of.
no, I'm wondering because like you said like he's the catalyst for everything, but
Not everything.
No.
A lot of things.
right, but I'm saying like it sounds like an easy way. Like if I was a writer and I wanted to go back and say, oh, these are all the same guy.
Don't
I'd be,
Marvel do that?
yeah, no, they do, but I'm just saying that's what it sounds like. It's him doing that. I don't think he planned it out. At least that's what it doesn't sound like that to me. That's what I'm saying.
Where would those Randall Flagg fit in with Maximum Overdrive?
That's a good point. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll take that answer. And Stephen King stuff goes above my head anyway.
Yeah, it
a lot of
does.
times.
If only we could read.
If only I did more cocaine.
Well, then I'll put your paper to the pen, bro.
I don't remember doing AIDS.
The 6-month story arc. Matt, start
Oh
writing.
my god, the midlife crisis story.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the cocaine dungeon. Keep writing, Matthew. Keep writing.
Be like Kesha all over.
Yeah. And I'll bring you food. though. And I'll
Last
take care of
book
your
was
spiders.
The best book he ever wrote. So far.
Spiders.
It's called Fairy Tale. Is apparently one of his
Magnum
best
opus?
books. Yeah, like people are like 5-star, 5-star, but
You are a king.
the issue. I think Stephen King's books don't translate well into movies. I don't think.
Yeah, it depends on who's
It's
doing
a
them.
curse. Depends on. We got The Shining, and can you name another one that translated well?
Langoliers. No, I'm just kidding. That sucked.
Red Road. No. All the ones that translated don't.
Dreamcatcher. That was also awful.
Yeah, that's why I said they don't translate well.
That's why you got to give it up to Hollywood to sometimes flex their little
Yeah, I'm like,
artist wing and make it better.
But it's hard, coming from like a writing standpoint, flexing anything around, like changing it. Imagine you're a writer and you write a whole story and you're like, change things.
People do that shit all the time.
Suck the
People
farts
change the shit out
their
of
mouth.
stories, dude.
That's
Like-
it, but it's control. It's like I control the story
Yeah.
thing. But
That's like a lot of. Yeah, let's talk about Marvel DC again. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's they're adapting story arcs. They're not doing it one for one.
Yep.
And because they're trying to make a better story out of it to fit with what audiences want to see.
Yeah.
So if you're doing the same thing with Stephen King, right? You just take it, adapt it to a screenplay that would be a better movie.
they
and
did it.
do that.
And
They
sometimes
did
it
in the
works.
first one.
And chapter
doesn't.
1 was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 sucked.
Yeah, I don't
The
understand.
original.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love both parts.
I kind of like that original one.
The
Like
original
way
one is
more.
solid straight through.
That's why I said the original one's solid straight. It might be goofy, but it's more grounded than.
Like both parts are enjoyable to watch.
Mm.
Like I feel like they're
Tim
equal
Curry
in
nails it.
enjoyment. Yeah, Tim Curry is hilarious and
Tim
cool.
Curry nails it as that. I just think.
The only thing that's silly to me is him turning into like a giant.
Oh
spider.
yeah, that actually happened. So yeah, spooky. That's a little out of it.
Spider
but-
clown.
Yeah,
Spider clown.
but Spider clown.
All right, so I'd say we have time for one more topic, and I feel like we would be upset if we missed it. Shadow Generations came out. We're promised Tony's video game corner. Yeah. You have the floor.
Yes.
Oh,
all right.
Like he didn't see this coming.
Is it-
Okay.
Is it good?
It's very good.
Oh,
It is very.
that was Tony's video game corner.
It makes me very motion sickness. So I'm like, what's
Really?
Well, do
Don't-
you want me to
the
cue you
TV
in?
levels.
I'll cue you in, and then you can have your little spotlight on the gaming corner.
Sure.
Tony's Gaming Corner.
Why are we trying to make this a thing? I don't get through that many video games.
Okay, now I gotta redo
When it isn't Tony's AI corner, we have
Tony's Gaming Corner.
All right.
No.
So Shadow Generations. Technically the title is Sonic X Shadow Generations, but everybody's there for Shadow Generations because that is the new part that's been added into the game. And the scores have been very well received. It's been getting like 8 9s out of 10s. Metacritic score is 80%. And this is like the first like 3D Sonic game that's really doing really well, and it already sold over 1 million copies. So this is this is a testament to what Sega's trying to do now, where they're saying they have like a quality control check for their video games because they're like, yeah, we're done trying to make like sucky games. Like so this game, they said they started coming up with the idea when they saw the end of Sonic 2, the movie, and saw the Shadows coming up. They're like, oh, we should do something with Shadow then. And so they went and they're like, oh, well, we're going to do remaster of Sonic Generations. What if we just add on like a Shadow piece to it? But the shadow, like if you play the game, that all the Shadows levels are so well polished, and like as you go through the levels, there are segments of the levels that are like very cinematic, and it feels like a completely different like game. Like it doesn't feel like you're playing a Sonic game because it's just how well polished it is. And then they have like the overworld where instead of Sonic Frontiers where everything's very empty, you have the overworld that actually has stuff going on, and so it's way more entertaining than the Sonic Frontiers' hub, not even hub, or Sonic Frontiers' world. So that's really cool. And then but because the Shadow Generations part is so good, the Sonic Generations part doesn't look as good. So it's like, oh, it's not as well polished. So even the graphics aren't as good. And because they kept it mostly the same as the original Sonic Generations.
Is this then?
It's just an add-on of Shadow Generations, technically. The Sonic part, the only thing that they changed was some of the cutscenes. Yeah. So what they do is they redubbed the cutscenes to make the characters fit more of what the characters are. And the reason why is because the guys who originally wrote the story, if you can call it a story, because not really much of a story of Sonic Generations, they didn't know anything about Sonic. So all the characters were written very like out of character. So what they did was got Ian Flynn, who does the Sonic comics, to come in and rewrite the cutscenes, and then they redubbed it. Wow. But now the problem with that too is that sometimes the what is going on in the visual of what's going on in the cutscene doesn't necessarily match what they're saying. So that it's like, okay, well that also kind of drags it down a bit. So I think if they would have released Shadow Generations as its own mini game, it probably would have got a much higher score and would have done a lot better. But because they tagged it on with Sonic Generations, it kind of drags it down a bit. But that being said, Shadow Generations is a very good game. So every Act 1 is 3D level, and every Act 2 is a 2D level, so you know exactly what you're going to get.
Thank God, or else I wouldn't be able to play the game. See that straight flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like, oh my God, I'm throwing up.
But even the 2D levels, what I like about them is that they're very dynamic. It almost doesn't feel like you're playing a 2D level. Okay. Because the camera is very dynamic. So as you're going through the level, sometimes they angle it a specific way where it looks like it's 3D, but it's still a 2D level.
It's kind of what what was the big open world game?
Frontiers.
Frontiers had those 2D elements to it, but it just kind of went into it and went out of it.
Yeah, it was like back and forth.
Game?
Yeah, the Void.
The Void game, yeah.
No matter how many characters you add to it, it is an empty game.
Yeah. But, yeah, and even the story for Shadow Generations is very cool. You get to see him interact with Maria, and you get to see him, with Gerald Robotnik.
Oh, yeah.
And then, Big the Cat's in it.
Yes. Big the Cat's there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big the Cat. E123.
Yeah.
Yeah, E123 Omega, Rouge the Bat, and then you have, the Chows in Sonic Generations. You save the Chows.
They didn't make a Chow Garden.
Yeah,
never
not yet.
I can't buy this game.
I was like, all I want to do is play Chow Garden.
They're all like remastered levels, like old levels from old games, or are they brand new ones?
Well, so In Shadow Generation, what are we talking about? Shadow Generations. Yeah, so for Shadow Generations, what they did was they took levels from different parts of Shadow's like history. So you have Space Colony Arc, Bullet Train from Sonic Heroes, Kingdom Valley from Sonic 06, Radical Highway from Adventure 2. I feel like I'm missing one.
How about like his Shadow the Hedgehog game where he's shooting guns?
Yeah, I didn't get through the whole game yet, so I'm still playing.
At some point, Shadow's gonna find a Glock.
Yeah, I remember this. This is the ultimate power.
This feels familiar.
So I guess more to come as you work your way through it.
Definitely.
Cool. All right.
And that's been Tony's Gaming Corner.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I know this was probably a record amount of topics, but it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a good time. We'll catch you next time, everybody.
Ciao.
Oh, there's the ending. Whoa, and ka-chow.
And I'm Kyle. Remember that from the beginning? We're Pseudo Adults.
The ending was